me waiting up all night. You've got me waiting up all night, baby. If we can get into some trouble tonight.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another Bursting with Energy. I hope you guys had an amazing start to your December. It is that Christmas season. So since it's getting cold, I thought it would be perfect to tackle the immune system. As you guys know, we started the season with breathing, breath work, how we bring in that breath and how it determines our mood, sometimes our health. We also talked about plants, how we are part of nature, and how we have that growth system within us as well. Today we're going to be talking about the immune system, and my guest today is Vyasha. So it's very interesting. I actually met her at a pop shop event where I was selling creams, and also my services, and she was selling her product, and her product was specifically on the immune system. So it's a powder. I don't know how to describe it. It's like a powder. I'll go to her so she can describe it, and she knows exactly what it does, but I did pick it based on what it does.
Yes.
And it has a particular taste. It's not really like bad or good. It's just like you just take it. So Vyasha, welcome to Bursting with Energy.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. Thank you for allowing me to share everything that I know.
I'm excited. Based on everything you told me, I was really excited to have you. So talk to us about yourself.
Yes, of course. Well, just to come back on what you said about the
pop
powder.
shop.
Yeah, the pop shop and the stuff that I was selling. Well, no, it's just so I really want to bring forth like all these herbs that exist. It's roots, it's herbs, it's stuff that's like readily available, right, for immune system. Herbs for women, herbs for men. So you picked up one of those, and it's great stuff. So kudos for
And her prices are very reasonable, guys. So buy from her.
Yes. I want to make it accessible. So I guess I'll tell you like a little bit about what I do.
Yep, your journey, how you, exactly what you do and how you got into this.
How I got into this. So a little bit about what I do. I guess generally speaking, I teach about nervous system regulation, because there seems to be a lot of dysregulation, and by regulating the nervous system, we also regulate our emotions, and everything is so tied in to one another, like everything goes together. It affects your immunity too. So I find nervous system regulation is a big thing. I also, yes.
That's very interesting, because what actually sparked like my journey right after life coaching is I went to a naturopath. And my vagus nerve, I don't know if you know, that was the first time I heard about the vagus nerve. And it was unbalanced, and it's really connected to your nervous system, which in spirituality is also connected to your aura shield. So I learned a lot through just going to that appointment and regulating that. So keep going. I just wanted to point that out.
It's exactly that, what you said. So that's why I'm like, I cannot leave this out. You cannot have a dysregulated nervous system and be healthy. So I make it a point to, mention things about it, give practices, exercises on it. I deal with emotional block releases in the body as well. So it's linked to the nervous system as well. And then just generally I teach about herbs and just healthy, detoxifying lifestyle practices to adopt in everyday life.
That's amazing. Yeah, especially with everything that's going on in today's life, how we eat, the stress that we have. I think that's really cool that you do that. I just wanted to touch on, because she said emotional blockages, so for those of you that don't understand, picture it like when you eat food and you have a blockage in there, that also happens emotionally. We have like memories or trauma or pain that's stuck within our body, and so sometimes we have to release that energy.
Exactly. Everything, you want everything to be continuously moving in your body.
Yes.
Exactly.
You are water.
Exactly. Everything needs, as long as everything flows, you're good. We all produce toxins. As long as they can move out of the body, we're good. So
don't be scared of toxins. Just make sure they're flowing out of the body.
That's right. It's basically spreading knowledge about that. And so how did I end up in this line of work? How did I end up becoming a naturopath? I think, to be honest, it's a little bit like a lot of people, where it was a self-discovery journey. And I think that's the best way to know what's meant for you, is when you get to really know yourself. for it to be authentic. You know, you want to be good at what you do because you want it to come from a place of, like, from your core, right?
Yeah, I agree.
That's it. So, and I think a big part of this journey, generally speaking, is about unlearning the things that we've learned. And
That's tough.
yes. Like, we learn a bunch of stuff, and you're like, no, wait, there's some, no, that's not me. I got to unlearn some stuff. And then just, I guess I would say, loving yourself back to your essence. So, and like specifically for me, I'm Mauritian. My parents are from Mauritius Island. So, like, getting to know who I am was very crucial in me becoming who I am, like getting into naturopathy. So,
Your roots.
yeah, that's it. And I think there's an Indian saying, but I'm so sure that this quote is probably present in every culture, which is like something like, if you don't know where you came from, you don't know where you're going. So, yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, I'm like, okay.
It's like that history repeats itself if you don't.
Yeah, or a lot of things that you don't really understand, but you know, you can. It's there. Like, it is in the baggage that you took with you. So
it's even in your genes, right? In your code. It's just unlocking it. That's the hard part.
Yes, no, exactly. And it's knowing where you came from actually gives you that trajectory. So it gives you, you're like, oh, this is where I came from, and this is where I'm headed. And do I agree with that? Do I want to change that? So it empowers you.
I like that.
Yeah. So, and because in order to unlearn what you have learned, you also, because it doesn't serve you anymore, you have to be able to get to a place of appreciation for yourself. How do you get to that place
of appreciation?
Yes, of that appreciation if you don't understand your place in this chaos.
Yeah. I love that you said beautiful chaos. Hashtag beautiful chaos in the comments, guys.
Yes, of course, because life is beautiful. As long as you understand something, you will appreciate it, because you're in control. Like, you're like, oh, I'm empowered, I get it. So you're there, and you're like, okay, I have all of this. Now, what do I take forward? And what do I leave behind? What do I heal? What do I pause for? So you understand everything you're doing is with awareness, is mindfulness, right? So personally, I'm from Mauritius. My ancestors are from India.
Okay.
Yes, but I also have African blood.
Oh.
Yes. So I guess for those that don't know, I guess people by now they kind of know about Mauritius, but it's just an isolated island. But
I actually have family members there.
You do? Yeah. Oh my God! You know,
my cousin just got married to Mauritian.
I don't know. I get so excited. It's gonna be 2050. People are gonna be like, I know Mauritius. I'll get just as excited. I was like, because we're so tiny.
It's true. And their culture was like at the wedding. Oh my gosh! I saw this beautiful dance. I know random guys, but it was amazing. The culture's pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, it's a nice melting pot because I just read about this. In 2019, it was like voted the best, or they determined it was the most peaceful African country.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's because it's so isolated and we're all there. We're like, no
one's bothering them.
No, so everyone just coexists, right? So yeah.
So you learned your roots, and they kind of led to
a little bit. So like everyone, growing up, going to school, everything, going to work, and then very quickly I kind of realized this wasn't for me, and I got a first calling to study Ayurveda.
Ooh, yes.
Yes. You've heard of it too? Yes. So Ayurveda, for those that don't know, it's Indian herbal medicine. So it's India's natural medicine. So there's Ayurvedic doctors there, everything. So it's actually well established. And so I got a calling to study that, and then became a naturopath and practiced a bit, and then got my second calling because I felt something was missing. I'm like, there's something for me to look into. And that's when I decided to look into my ancestry and into my African heritage, because I'm like, and yes, I can take this story in many directions, but for the sake of our topic, when it comes to the immune system, when I started digging into my ancestry and finding out about, just spiritual practices, the use of herbs and all this good stuff, I realized there was such a close parallel, and there was such similarities that it just made me realize, I'm like, there's a common core to truth, So, and everything that I knew, everything that I had learned, it just anchored me into that. It anchored me into that confidence, I'm like, I got that substance. So it was really good. It was so good. So I'm like, oh, this makes sense. It was like a sense of familiarity and just taking me back home. So I'm like, how did I not know about this?
I like that, because that feeling of going back home, your temple, like your body, your vessel is your home, right? And getting to know that on that deep core level, I feel like it does help with that confidence or that emotional side, that mental health.
No, it definitely does. It gives you a good sense of groundedness, So, So
your journey? That was pretty much your journey. Was there anything that stuck out or was really memorable to you during your journey?
Memorable, I would say, all of it, because it kind of makes you rediscover parts of yourself or touch on parts you never touched before. And it shows you things that make sense, but you cannot put it into words. So it's just it makes you embody yourself. So I would say anyone that kind of has that hunch or that, that feeling of like, oh, there's something I need to know, you have everything within you. It's just waiting to be discovered. So, that's what it is. So I kind of made it my purpose to bring back ancient wisdom after that. I'm like, let's bring back these things that we left behind.
Yes.
Love it. Yes. And so when we're talking about health and all aspects of who we are, it is so interwoven that everything affects everything. So when it comes to the immune system, everything that we take in, from our mouth to our eyes to our ears, everything that we take in from all our senses will have an impact on our immunity, for sure. Yeah.
Everything?
Yes.
TV too?
Yeah. Well, it has an effect on the mind, and then it's like a domino effect, right? It's just, yeah. So, yes, let me know if you have.
So we'll go on to the, thank you for sharing your journey. Yes. That's amazing.
Yes.
I think it's a really cool journey, and it is about that self-discovery, and that self-discovery can be really challenging. You just have to have the patience to actually, learn about yourself. And I love that she said, love yourself, appreciate yourself, because that's always going to bring you back to, this is why I started it. This is why. And the last motivational message was, what was that initial trigger? What was that initial spark, right? That got you to, why this is my calling, this is what I want to discover. And so the more you discover about yourself, the more you appreciate those discoveries about yourself, the more likely you're going to, embody all of that.
Yes, definitely.
Don't give up, guys. That's what I'm saying. So what is the point in knowing about your immune system?
Well,
why should the audience know? Why should I know? Why should everybody know?
Well, I guess the first thing I would say is it actually gives you a clear indication on your mental state, your physical state, mental health, rather, physical health, emotional health. So it gives you a clear indication on that, and it's also your protection. So it's that part of your body that's constantly like making sure that you can get up and walk and talk, like that you're, safe, and that, it's fighting for you. So it's that part of you. So it's extremely important. It's like having a compass. It's like, okay, this is where I'm, okay, everything's good. Okay, this is the direction I'm going. So that's a little bit your immune system. And, and it's important to say, we don't, and I think people know as well, you don't just wake up one day and you develop, an illness or you get sick. It's always a process before getting to that state of developing something, So
I guess even, like, how we, like, as we have goals and we go through that journey and we also want to get somewhere, I guess the illness also has that journey and that process, right?
That's a good way to say, yes, that's a good way to put it. Exactly. So it's just being aware, all the layers of our beings and saying, like something, I feel there's something, you know what, I have too much stress. I need to slow down. Or I'm eating this. I kind of feel I'm going to get sick. You probably will, just pay attention. So on a physical, it'll affect our physical health. So if we just focus physically. Just to give you a general idea, the body has what we call tissues, different tissues. So you
I
have...
hope you guys all remember your science classes, bio classes.
Yeah, it ties into those classes a little bit, yes. So we have, let's say, your nervous system is considered one tissue.
Okay.
Your immune system is one tissue. Your, not your immune system, sorry. Your muscular system is one tissue. Your reproductive system. So we have several tissues. Now your immunity is linked to your lymphatic system. So it's that, as a part of your body, the white blood cells, and it's that part which detoxifies your body, that carries,
cleans out, right?
Cleans out, exactly. And when it gets overloaded, it weakens, and that's how you let things through, because your organs...
So overworking your lymphatic system is what decreases your immune system?
Yes, well, it's not that you're overworking it. It's usually when your organs just don't get a break, so it flushes everything into the lymphatic system, and it gets overloaded because your organs are not optimal.
Okay.
Why aren't your organs optimal? Then it's the domino effect of because I'm too stressed, or because I'm eating too much of this, I'm not getting enough sleep, and all of that. So you kind of have to approach it holistically because of that. Okay. Now, when it comes to actual food that we eat, the one thing I would say on a physical level is to pay attention to our gut health. Okay. So to consume foods that are, varied foods like bright colors, things like that, just for our flora. Because the reason why the gut health, I focus on that a lot, even though we should focus on everything, it's really important, is because it's the home to so many pathogens. Okay. And pathogens are what perpetuate those negative feelings that linger with us, feelings of lethargy or apathy, depression, anxiety. So
it's in your gut.
Yes. No, definitely. And that's why when let's say someone decides to turn their life around, like just 180, and they want to change everything, they tend to want to eat more healthy. And that's not a coincidence, because your food, whatever you eat, you consume, you become as well. And some people will have a lot of trouble. They'll start eating clean, and they'll start shaking. They'll start sweating. Yes. And they go like, this is too hard, like I can't do it. Well, that's because they're killing actual pathogens in their gut. They're killing them off. So it's gonna fight to live. Okay. That's what happens. Wow. Yes, and they'll even say, "Oh, I can't. Like I'm hungry." I'm like, "No, you got your nutrition. It's the pathogens that are hungry, that want that." Oh, so be careful who you're feeding. Yes,
I like that.
Yeah. So yeah, it is challenging, but it's very transformative. And after 1-2 weeks, once you kill them off, you start feeling better. Okay. Lighter, and you'll be nourished, and
When you said varied fruits, can we compare it? Because how I do it is the colors of the chakras, because they have like different colors. So if your food also has all those colors, then it's a good eat it, right?
Yes, no, absolutely. And what's really, I find magical actually in nature, depending on where you live in the world, you have what we call seasonal fruits and vegetables. And usually those fruits and vegetables have they have a color, and those colors are associated to the chakra that you should be feeding most during this season. Because if it's cold, you should be, feeding your lower chakras when it's more.
Can you tell us a little bit more about that? Because I just be eating all the fruits that are available, so I don't actually know if they're in season.
Yeah, no, it's good to be eating all, but seasonal, I mean, it assures that it's good quality. Yeah. And assures you have a better chance that but it's also the fact, like for instance in winter, when it's colder outside, you tend to need something more warm and something more consistent. That's why we go for like potatoes and like carrots. So root vegetables.
Those are the warm colors, right? The red, orange, yellow. Okay.
Root colors. So if you follow that, you'll know what your body needs more of. Okay. Yeah. And in summer, like it's already hot. You're trying to cool off. Yeah. So lettuce, salads, greens.
What about? Because So for the winter, there's the orange apple, the red apple, and the green apple. Does it make a difference?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, but it depends for who. So generally speaking, I would say in winter, generally a red apple is better.
Okay.
Because, if we get into the details of foods, we have different tastes. We have 6 different tastes: sweet, sour, this, that. So the flavors that should be, the tastes that should be favored are sweeter tastes.
In the winter?
In the winter, yes.
So like squash soup?
Yes, exactly. But at the same time, depending on your constitution, your unique constitution, maybe you're a person that, generally speaking, you need more bitter foods.
Okay.
So maybe in
Salty.
winter too, you might need. So it's on an individual basis. Follow what you feel, and it's right. Usually, it's right if you pay attention. Yeah.
Okay.
If you feel like having it, chances are, yeah, you can have it.
If you're feeding the right.
If you're feeding, yes. Once you're on the path of you're like, no, I'm satisfied with how I eat. I'm conscious of it. Chances are you'll make the right choices.
Okay. Thank you. Is
Yeah,
there anything else to know that's important about the immune system before we go into our next question?
Yes. So that's like a little bit on the physical level. Now on the mental and emotional level, what's responsible for immunity? In Ayurveda, actually, they say that your state of mind is actually what's responsible for immunity. So in the West here, it actually makes sense because we link the number one cause for low immunity is high stress levels.
Yeah, stress. I talked about that.
And that's all in the mind.
Because stress creates cortisol, right? Like
The release of cortisol,
okay.
domino effect again. So that's very important because we think we're very mind driven, so we go with our minds instead of our hearts, and that's what creates these chronic, conditions like high levels of stress.
Is it the mind though? I want that. That looks good. Is that the mind or the heart?
Or is it the pathogens?
Or is it the pathogens? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, like it's the when the mind informs everything, that's when the problems happen. But if it's your heart saying like, no, that's what I feel like doing, then your mind can be like, okay, then let's figure out how to do what that thing that your heart is saying. Yes. So at the end of the day, like if we put both of those things together, like on the physically how to take care of your immune system, and then on a mental level to take care of your stress levels, if there's one thing you should remember about the immune system, how to restore your immunity, there's 2 things you need to work on.
2 things, guys.
2 things, yes. The first thing is super important, is simply your digestion.
Okay.
Your digestion.
Yeah.
Why do I say your digestion? Because and I don't know, I think we maybe talked about it a little bit. I touched on it the first time we met,
yeah,
I think.
I think you did.
I think, but anyway, so I'll repeat it. So for digestion, the reason why it's important is because it breaks down food to an absorbable form.
Okay.
And it nourishes everything, including your mind. Okay. So it's not just your capacity to digest food, it's the capacity to digest your thoughts, your emotions, process through them. Because if you can process your food, then you can process your thoughts. And that's why we'll find that a lot of people that seem to be a little wishy-washy or not knowing how to make a decision, and they're a little bit foggy and stuck, they will tend to have low digestive fire. Like they won't be digesting well. Because if your digestion
what if you have
good,
too much fire?
Then we're getting into something else. Yeah, it's if you have, what do you mean too much?
Like
though?
what if it's
overactive?
What if is there the opposite?
There's ways to balance it out, balance it out, but your problem will not be that you feel stuck in life. That's for sure. Like you will not. Things will be moving.
Would it be more impulsive?
Yes, yeah. They might be moving a bit too fast for your liking, but you won't feel stuck.
Okay.
So of course there are ways to.
Would it be impatience too?
Sorry.
Would it be impatience too?
Yes. Actually, the cold season helps with that. It just cools.
Yeah, you have no choice.
You have no choice. You have no choice. Exactly.
So at least nature is out there helping you.
Yes, when you know how to work with it, you just, yes. Absolutely. So yeah, your digestion is super important to take care of so you can digest everything. And the second thing, I actually tried to find the English term for this, and I couldn't find it.
Ooh.
Yes, in Ayurveda, well, in Sanskrit, it's called ojas, O-J-A-S.
Okay. Go look for the word in your ancestral language then, guys, if you can't find it.
You will
in
find
English.
it, yes, if you look for it.
Say it again.
Ojas.
Ojas.
Ojas, yes.
Ojas.
So what it is, how I can define it is it is associated to your vigor or the essence of your vitality.
Okay.
And the seat of that like fluid is in the heart actually.
Oh,
It's
I
in the
never heard that.
I know, I
This is the
know.
first.
But it's super important because it is linked to your immunity, your strength, and your joy. That joie de vivre that we talk
Joyous.
about. Yes.
Okay.
And you want to have that in abundance because you want to have, immunity, strength, and joy. That's what it's responsible for.
And what if your digestive system's not working well, but your ojas is all good? Like your heart. Does that work?
It's linked. It's linked because the quality of your ojas will be affected. The quality of that fluid, that essence, will be affected. Because things need to be broken down so it can be absorbable and,
Can you
in its
describe the
purest.
liquid?
I can't even, I don't
Is
even
it like
know.
it's in the heart?
It's in the heart.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
there. But Ayurveda is so precise. Like it talks about where the soul lies and stuff that like modern medicine doesn't talk about.
Yeah.
So yeah, and this fluid, this essence of life, how do you preserve it? Because what it's coming down to is really to preserve and nourish the heart. And the more you follow your heart, the more you'll, like the happier you get, it increases that vitality actually.
Okay.
And you start going towards things that are good for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting. So, so you talked about in the gut, the digestive system, the heart, ojas. Are any of that linked to the pineal gland in the mind?
This is all linked to it.
Okay.
Especially the heart. Like,
Okay.
yes, it'll, like your intuition will become very, very sharp, and your gut will be synchronized to your intuition.
Because what you want is the mind and the heart, the body.
Yes.
You want all of that linked and aligned and going in the same direction, right?
That's it. And by following the heart, because in all the chakras, the 7 chakras we have, the heart is the one that links the lower 3 and the higher 3.
Yeah.
So it marries like all the chakras. That's why it needs to lead, you know?
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
Let your heart lead.
That's it. That's it. So, so, the heart is to be followed. And on an emotional level, well, physically speaking, how do you take care of your heart? We're talking about, the cardio, moving around, because it actually pumps life into your body.
Yeah,
so.
I sprinted the other day. I was like, oh my, what happened to my stamina? I could sprint, but I was like, I wanted to sprint longer than that.
I know.
Younger 14-year-old me would.
I know. Right? I so feel what you're saying, though.
Oh, God.
Like every time someone would say, okay, let's race, like, yeah, let's race.
Right?
That's it. So yeah, taking care of the heart is just like your cardio. That'll help it. On an emotional level, it's processing through heavy emotions. You don't want to be holding on to grief and just, that's why we feel heavy here.
Yeah.
It's just weighing on the heart. And again, with digestion, if that's good, you will digest those feelings. They will not keep lingering as much as they do.
I have a I just want to make sure I say the word right.
Yes.
Is it angina? Is it right? Here in the chest? Yes. Does that have any, do you know angina?
Yeah.
When there's chest pain, does that have anything to do with that
of course.
heaviness?
Yeah.
Okay.
It does.
Okay.
It creates what we said in the beginning, emotional blockages.
Okay.
Yeah, because a lot of times we focus a lot on the physical aspect, which is very important, but we omit the emotional side of it, because this is where we carry everything.
Because you can't see it specifically, right? So people don't address. You don't really address the things you can't see.
Yeah.
Whereas now we're seeing that the things we can't see, because all of it comes from the mind, right?
Right.
It's actually very important because it created our world.
That's it. So yeah, but we do feel it. We don't feel.
Definitely feel it.
We feel it. That's it. So yeah, on an emotional level, it's that. And on a spiritual level, again, it's about following your heart. Because that's what connects you to a pineal gland, connects you to all that is. So you can't go wrong, you know.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. So that's kind of the two things.
So the two important things. Can you repeat them just for our audience?
Yes. So digestion and your, I guess, ojas, so your vigor, your essence of vitality.
So if you guys want to change your life or you want to do anything to go in the direction of, you know, your goal, two things.
Yep.
Digestion and ojas, heart.
Yeah, because people would be surprised. Let's say something's happening in their life, and you know, to say to someone, well, you know, work on your digestion, it doesn't necessarily make sense. But you know what?
It does make sense.
You know, it'll work. Like your mind, it'll shift your mind.
It's very interesting.
Yeah.
Love it. Okay. So you talked about the spiritual aspects. So I want to go deeper into that because you guys do know that I work with the spiritual aspects of energy as well. When we're increasing that energy, we're literally increasing our connection to spirit, right?
Right.
So what does that have to do with our immune system, especially that I told you guys about the vagus nerve, the aura shield, and we talked about the chakras. Can you like put it in a nice package for us?
Yes. Well, what comes to me directly is, and to put it in simple terms, everything is frequency.
Vibrations.
Yes, that's it. I think it was Nikola Tesla. He's like, if you want to learn the secrets of the universe, think in terms of frequency, and that's it. That's all you need to do. So when we're talking about the immune system here, it's important to know that all emotions vibrate at a certain frequency. Okay. And we can actually determine there's like, you know, megahertz. You know, this disease is at this much megahertz, and, you know, this is that, and everything has a frequency. We're not going to get into
Does the table have the frequency?
Yes, it actually has a frequency. It's very dense, dense frequency. But just to keep it simple, we can all agree that they're like positive emotions vibrate at a higher frequency than negative emotions. Joy and love will feel a lot lighter. Exactly.
Brighter.
Depression and anxiety.
Your eyes will twinkle.
That's right.
But depression, you're like...
Exactly. It's heavy. There's a heaviness.
Yeah.
So
there's a burden.
That's it. So what we want to do is keep our vibration high and to keep our immunity high, basically. And it's not something that's really logical that you can, you know, to keep your, it won't make sense, but it feels right. So what feels right doesn't necessarily make sense to us.
That's the intuition, right?
It's, that's it. So, so that's how it ties into spirituality, because to connect yourself like to your purpose and things that you need to do, you have to have a high vibration. So, and the only way to declutter is to keep your vibration high too.
I have an interesting question based on that, because I sometimes ask my clients, how long can you be happy for? And I realize it's really tough, like to be happy for long, even like for me, like I have ups and downs, like but like to be happy for a long time. People are like, what? Happy for 2 weeks? Happy for a month?
Yes. Well, I guess the point is not to be happy all the time, because that wouldn't be normal. All emotions are part of life, of life experience, right? Why we came here, it's to just experience all these emotions and situations. But the important thing to remember is to not linger and to have the capacity to recover.
Bounce,
Exactly. It's like nature. We have 4 seasons. You take a tree. It'll lose its leaves in winter, everything. In the wind, it will go, you know, it'll just vacillate like left and right. But
the leaves will end up over there when the tree's here.
That's it. But it will not break. It's flexible. So it's about being able to flow through everything and to not judge what we're feeling, but just to be able to move through it. That's what makes life beautiful, because you wouldn't appreciate being happy if you didn't know what sadness was.
Right. I actually appreciate the days I'm not, like, I sound weird, but I actually appreciate the days I'm angry. I'm like, that just is funny. She just gets I appreciate I'm still working on my patience, but I'm like, I know it's that go-getter in me that's like,
But that's good. Isn't that like there's like a charm to it? It's like,
yeah,
"Yay,"
you can
know?
appreciate that side of you. But some people I know it really brings them down. But it's like,
Yeah,
that
but
side
if
of you
you
is interesting.
but if you have enough ojasi, you'll take it like that, you know? Because so it's about being able to detox, because as you detoxify, you will get into situations where, you know, you might get snappy
Yeah,
or stressed.
you can't control everything.
Yeah,
You
but
don't know
once
who's
it's
gonna
out,
annoy you today.
no, you don't know, but once it's out, it's okay, it'll move out of you and, you know, you'll be on your merry way,
Yeah.
you know? So
it's a whole detoxification process, actually.
yeah, that's
I like
it.
Very cool.
So, so when it comes to diseases like candida or something, it will not stick to you if your vibration is high. Cannot logically even scientifically stick to you.
Good.
Yeah. So that's how if you have a high vibration, you will have good immunity because things will not stick to you. It might come in. I mean, you might catch a virus, but then, you know, you'll just kind of feel icky, but
Drink your tea.
that's it. Maybe it'll be an indication for you to just slow down a bit, but, you know.
Yeah, that's also might be a time to take a
Yes.
bath, relax, self-care.
Yeah. Because life gives you cues as well, so it's
Yeah.
to listen to.
You're doing
to
too
that.
much.
Yeah, that's it. So yeah, that's a little bit how it ties into, I would say in simple words, like ties into spirituality. It's think in terms of frequency and, you know, ask yourself, when I start feeling depressed, do I move through it easily?
And can it also go back to those pathogens? What frequency
course.
are you,
Yes,
you know,
feeding.
absorbing? Exactly, feeding, absorbing right now.
That's it. Yes, absolutely. Definitely. Yes.
We're not saying to demonize your emotions or anything.
No.
It's just being aware of it and how do you react in that.
Yes, that's it. So yeah, that's a little bit how it ties into spirituality, I would say. So
I love this topic. Okay, so how can we prevent ourselves from developing a weak immune system? From lingering in those?
Yes. So we talked mainly about the physical aspect, what to do inside our bodies, but outside our bodies, we have our electromagnetic field, our auric field, and that is just as important for prevention.
And you know what's interesting? This has actually been proven scientifically as well.
Yes.
Of this auric field, this magnetic field, this energy that we emit and that we receive, and that, you know, we communicate with each other. So you guys can look more into that, but go on.
Yes, no, big time. So we have different layers to our aura. So we have our etheric body, mental body, emotional body. So all of these bodies, and what's important to know is before we develop any kind of chronic illness or, you know, even a common cold, anything, it has to go through all the layers before it gets to the body.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, it's part of your body.
Wow.
Isn't that good to know?
Yeah. But that's kind of scary, too. It went through all those shields.
Yeah, I know.
I'm like,
Yeah, so remember when I said to pay attention because your body will tell you. It doesn't just happen overnight. So that's the good news.
Okay.
You can prevent it.
Okay.
So something can go
What if you're
through.
fast healer?
If you're a fast healer,
Yeah, like when you get sick, you heal 1 or 2 days.
that's good.
Yeah. No, because I'm like, it went through, because I'm thinking it went through all of that, but so you still got it, but then you heal fast, so.
Yes, because in the process of becoming sick, you can catch yourself and do things that are good for you.
Yeah.
Not because you're healthy that it means nothing will touch you.
Okay.
You can come into contact with things, for sure. And maybe physically speaking, you're not prone to getting colds and like common flu and stuff like that, but maybe you're prone to getting worried and, you know, things like that. It might be a disease of the mind, of the heart, like things like that.
Yeah, so the diseases are not just physical diseases.
No.
It could be mental, spiritual.
Yes, that's it. And when those things perpetuate, that's when it develops into something physical, you know, more chronic. So yeah, the different layers. Yes, and I have an example on that because you had mentioned, I think before, that you said something about when you feel something is not right for you, something along those lines. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to tell her like this story I have. So about, you know, doing what's right for you, what feels right for you. This one time, I had taken a contract, a job contract, an office job, and it was during my practice in the beginning, and I'm like, oh, just maybe financially I should, do something like that, take this contract, but I did not feel it in my heart. Okay,
I see what you mean.
So I think this was my second day of work, so it's not even like 2 months into it. It's like second day. People do this every day.
Yeah. Sometimes I find it crazy. I'm like, how?
I know, and it was raining. It wasn't cold outside, but it was
The
just
rain
humid.
sometimes, Of course, rain makes you want to cuddle up, right? So
Exactly, and I was like, okay, and I was done work, and I went to wait for the bus, and I remember waiting there, and other people were waiting with their umbrellas, and I just did not want to be there. I did not feel good. It doesn't matter how I tried to talk to myself. I did not want to be there. And I remember getting home that day, and I started feeling so weak. Like I got a ringing in the ears, I got a sore throat, all kinds of things that made no sense to me.
But you can make yourself sick also by it's literally I don't want to go.
Yes, and then I was thinking, I'm like, oh, are you serious? Like, I waited in the rain, and I must have caught a virus.
Yeah. That's the logical brain, right?
The logical
Trying to
brain.
make sense of what is actually your belief system is creating.
That's right. That's it. And I'm like, I caught a virus. And I'm like, no, hold on a second. I eat fairly well. I sleep well. I'm aware of myself. What is missing? I'm like, I really don't want to be there.
I love that she has she's checking ticks. I eat well, I sleep well, I take good care of myself. And so it's a lot easier when you have those ticks. I eat well, I sleep well. So those are the things, the things that you're worse at, maybe, let's start there. That you're like, okay, this will make a domino effect on everything else if I change my sleep. And you just start with that one. That way you can at least tick it off so that you can go to that emotional. Because maybe we're not used to going to our emotionals right away. So as long as the physical is all taken care of, then you can go and be aware of, I don't want to be there.
Yes, absolutely. And I was it scared me just how intense the symptoms were.
Yeah.
That I'm like, after, and I couldn't go to work the next day because I was too sick. And it got to a point, I'm like, you know what? I called in, I'm like, I can't do this. I cannot do this. And then what I felt right then and there was relief. So that right there is your indication that you made the right choice. There's two things you're going to feel when you make a choice, a decision. You make a decision, you either feel regret or relief. I felt relief.
Oh, so you should know right away in there, regret, relief.
Yes, yes. There was.
And if you feel regret, shouldn't you also be aware of what exactly are you regretting?
Oh, you'll know.
Okay.
You'll know. Let's say actually there was a lesson for me to kind of, know how to manage my money better, let's say. So it's get a contract, this, I would have known, no, I have to keep this job. But everything in me was like, why are you repeating something you're done with? Trust yourself. This is going to be okay. And that voice was there. It's just my mind's like, okay, can you just do what you know?
Yeah. It's that programming again, those habits that you fall back into, that trying to survive.
Yes, that's it. But the good news is once you start adopting good habits, when you're off your path track, your body will tell you right away, and it's your job to listen to it. It'll bring the opportunities that you need. It'll take care of you. Life will take care of you.
Love it.
Yeah.
So that's how you work with the immune system.
Yes, exactly. So that's a little bit how I go about it. And then, when it comes to, of course, if it's rainy outside and cold and this and that, I'm not saying...
Take precautions.
Take precautions. Have your warming herbs, just ginger, basil, holy basil is really good.
I usually just cook with basil. I don't.
You could. Oh, okay. No, holy basil actually is good only for teas.
Okay.
Holy basil.
Okay. So it's different than basil.
Yes. They call it basil, but it tastes completely different.
Okay.
Holy basil is different.
I'll check that out then.
Yes, and so your herbs, and then just your natural herbal stuff, you know, that you can find that actually creates a synergy because it's natural. So you will not develop a dependence or anything.
You can check stores around you. So far, my favorite has been l'Alchimiste en herbe.
Yes.
I love their stuff, and they indicate when it's organic and when it's not organic. Their stuff is amazing.
Yes.
I wasn't buying from them first. I was buying from Charme et Sortilège.
Yeah.
But then I found l'Alchimiste en herbe, and I was like, this is it.
Yeah, they have a whole variety of stuff.
It's like herbal alchemist in English.
Yes, yes.
So find the store around you that you know, that resonates, that where you can find these herbs, and then check the quality of their herbs as well.
Yes, exactly. Because usually there's a lot of knowledge out there, so you can kind of find what you need, but it's about knowing the source of what you're taking.
Exactly.
So just make sure of that. So yeah, that's what I would say.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So before we go into what you offer, is there anything else that you want to tell our audience about the immune system that they can work on every day, that they can take right now and start today, for example?
Yes, so the warming herbs is a good place to start, especially in this season. So ginger, like these are simple things that people can do. Lemon, ginger, teas like that.
You can add a little bit of cayenne pepper.
You can, yes, exactly. So you want stimulating herbs. So what those do is it helps detoxify your system, your lymphatic system. It actually helps to move things out. So people ask often what to take, but what I find is the most effective thing is to take out things that are not good for you. So to declutter.
Okay.
So
that was actually going to be my question. What if you're taking these warming herbs, let's start there, but you keep the same bad eating habits, for example?
It'll have a different effect on each person, but you know, long term, it's not really going to increase your immunity if your system is overloaded. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because your body is trying to get rid of something,
and you keep putting it back in.
Yeah. So it cannot process the other stuff.
Okay.
It's going to take care of what's already there, and if it's stagnant there, then there's no room. You have to create room.
Creating that space. We talked about that in the first episode, right? How breath helps us create that space that you need to like see things from a different perspective.
Yeah, and it might not seem like it's linked to the immune system, but actually just decluttering your environment will help you to calm down, to breathe better, and it'll have like on your mental health, it'll have such a good effect. And so those are just simple things that you can do, because you have to approach it holistically. It cannot just be one thing, because then you'll get frustrated. You'll be like, well, I ate this and this is not working, you know? Like, yeah, but you're still stressed because you're in this environment.
Exactly. I know in ancient Africa they talked about that, how cleaning your space allows in like good spirits and good energy, because it just feels nice, bright, light. So you feel good in the environment, which motivates you and encourages you to feel good within you.
Yes, and then at the same time, you know, you'll look into your kitchen, what you should throw away, what you should. So just throwing things away, you already feel better, and just a lot of people, what they do is they fast. Yeah,
I heard that fasting is so lately I've been like, fasting has always been good, but lately I've been hearing how good it is for your system, that detoxification process, and intentional fasting.
Yeah,
like it's different. Intentional fasting than actually starving is way different.
So good what you just said. That is key.
Intentional fasting really gets rid of those toxins, and it really gets your body back into, I guess, that original state.
It resets it.
Yeah.
So it gives your organs a break, basically. Your liver is responsible for 500 functions, like 500 functions in your body. That's a lot.
It is a lot.
It's a lot. So imagine for one day, if it's not doing anything, it can actually rejuvenate and start letting go of whatever it accumulated, you know?
That's going to be, I guess, a pop quiz on my Instagram, guys. So whoever gets the answer right will get a little oil.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. But it's important to say too, not everyone can fast the same way. it depends on your constitution, because some people, they have such a quick metabolism that whatever they eat, they don't have any reserves, so they have to keep eating. They can fast, but winter is not the best season for them to fast.
I have a quick metabolism, so when I did fast in, was it October? I believe it was in October.
Yeah,
it was fall season.
Yeah,
the transition.
That's good.
So it was in October, but I was having so in the morning and at night fruits.
Okay.
So that's what worked for me. And during the day, I was just water.
That's actually good. It's actually good, and especially if you're picking a time when you don't have a lot going on, there's no stress, your body can handle fasting, you know. So, and the more you trust your body, the more precise like your intuition will be on what you need to do, not do. It gets to a point you don't even question it, because you know it.
You just know it, yeah.
Exactly.
But that's why I was asking about the thyroid, because I'm like, I've always been told you have a fast immune system, and then when I went to the naturopathy, he was like, yeah, your immune system's like, that's why I was asking about.
Well, actually, what's in your case, what would really help with that is the root vegetables. So every like potatoes, like very grounding things.
Squash? I like squash.
Yes,
Can
squash
you guys
is
tell?
good. Of course, squash is good.
Sweet potato?
Sweet potato is good. Yes, all of that. But also, it's relative to when we say, you know, you have a fast metabolism. Unless it's causing you issues, it's part of who you are. Like it's just your nature. That's how you are.
It's hard for me to gain weight.
Sorry?
It's just hard for me to gain weight.
It's hard. Oh, God. Hello, me too. I know. I know.
Different problems. And there's not a lot of information out there on that. So you're like...
I know. Hard to gain weight. Oh, my God. Especially culturally. It's like, they'll tell you right away. They'll tell you. I was like, hey, you're skinny. You're too skinny. Oh.
And if the belief system is playing in that too, I'm like, I've heard it so many times. It's like anchored in my belief system.
No, I know what you're saying. Me too. So when I started gaining a little bit of weight...
You freaked out?
I was... someone told like, you gained weight. I was like, oh, thank you so much.
I was happy. I was happy too, but then I was like, oh, okay. Can I just stay like this?
Yeah, I know. But yeah, some people are just like that. And it was just this one time, it was a pediatrician that told my parents, like, no, that's just her nature. And I'm like, yeah, it is. How about it?
But honestly, I don't even know why they say that, because technically when they were young, they were thin too. So I'm like... Yeah. So all of that, the programming also, you know, I think does a number on our immunity as well, right? If you think you should be a certain way, but your body's like, no, but this is how I am. We're good. You know, so yeah, all that good stuff. I like that. Anything else on immunity system? I brought a few things. So right after she tells us about her services and what she offers and products, we're going to go through a little bit of stuff that might be even in your kitchen cabinet. But anything else on immunity system?
No, that's pretty much it. It's a lot.
I feel like we did get a lot.
Yeah.
I hope you guys got the key points. Digestive system, immunity, pathogens.
Kill the pathogens.
Exactly. Frequency.
Yes.
Energy.
So don't get scared, because people say, you know, when they start shaking and sweating and stuff, they're like, no, I have to eat. I'm like, no, this is why it's happening. Because, it might be scary. You know, the first time it happened to me, I'm like, oh my God, I need to eat, you know? But once you understand, you can just calm your body down, you know, So
Love it. Thank you.
Of course.
So let us know, what do you offer for people that don't know what to do, or they're going to start? You can always start with the warm teas, like she said. But now if you really want to work with her or purchase her stuff, what do you offer?
Yes, so it's one-on-one consultations with follow-ups, and it depends on your needs, right? If it's more on a nutritional level, we can work on that. We work with your unique constitution. So there's no one-size-fits-all, because I know there's things that come out, let's say turmeric. When that first came out, everyone was having it all the time. And I'm like, not everyone should be having it. If you already have a fast metabolism, you have to minimize that, because it'll make it worse, you know. But if you don't know, then, you know, you'll just consume it. So we work with your unique constitution, and then, you know, otherwise on an emotional level, any recurring issues that's getting you stuck in life, we work on those. So we have a holistic approach. We tailor it. That's it. And
that's a little bit like what I offer, guys. So for those that know, What I do like in her offer is that she does have that immune system nutrition more anchored. I did start with that, but I love the mind. I love habits.
Yes.
I love shifting that out in energy. So if you want that more nutritional immune system, check her out. She's amazing.
Thank you so much. And I saw what you offer too. It's similar.
Yes, it is very similar.
Very similar, yeah. So yeah, we look into your habits and we get to the root cause of it. And otherwise, I talked about teas, so I have immunity teas. I have herbs for men, herbs for women. I have organic sea moss.
Yeah, she does. The herbs for men and women, what I loved is that she said this was something from 3,000 years ago. Can you tell us?
I mean,
a herb?
The herb thing, okay, so Ayurveda has been around for 8,000 years, so it's actually documented.
8,000 years,
yes.
guys.
You know, so I mean, I trust it. I use it because I don't give anything that I don't use. So yes, exactly. So there's something for everything. What's important to know is you have to use it in combination to healthy lifestyle practices.
Yeah. So eating,
yes.
movement. Like it doesn't have to be exercise. Like I've repeatedly said that since season 1. It does not have to be exercise like, weights and like what you guys see as the conventional exercise. It's movement, flowing, dance, breathing, stretching, just doing, touching your toes, rocking on your spine sometimes to get that flow in the spine. Just movement. Like have fun like when you were a child.
That's it. Don't think about it. Whatever you do, don't put your mind into it. Like just enjoy it. Enjoy it.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's it. So yeah, thank you so much.
Yes. So sea moss.
Yeah.
Herbs, men, women. Immune herb. I haven't had that one yet. I saw it on your website. I want to get that next.
Yes.
I did already buy 2 of the women herbs, so we'll keep going with that.
Yes.
And one-on-one consultations.
That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, tell us your Instagram.
Yes, so my Instagram is Vyasha_coaching, or also for the CMOS, I have another page, oshun.offerings.cmos. And so you can contact me through there. I have my Linktree link in my bio. And that's it. Everything is there for you guys.
And if you didn't understand that, go on my Instagram and she's tagged in it, so you'll find her.
Super.
Good. Thank you. So we're going to end with just going through some cabinets, stuff in the kitchen that you guys will probably most likely recognize. And I want to get your take on how it works in our immune system, or just your opinion. I don't want to impose anything. Just let us know what you think.
Absolutely.
Flour. So I've been working with spelt flour lately, guys, which is a healthier flour.
Yeah.
But the other day, I don't know what did I want to make? Oh, I wanted to make vegan patties. Oh, by the way, vegan patties are amazing, guys. And most vegan patties recipes talked about white flour. So I got white flour. And so tell us what you think.
What do I think about flour generally?
This is all-purpose, unbleached.
Yes. Unbleached, yes. I think generally speaking, anything you have is okay in moderation.
Okay.
So as long as you're aware of your body and your body can process through it, it's okay. Now what I would say is when it comes to flour, go with more spelt flour, almond flour.
I learned about spelt flour this year. You can make good pizzas with it.
That's it. Buckwheat flour, things like that. And according to your constitution, you have some flours that are better for you. Quinoa flour even.
Oh, I've never heard of quinoa flour. That's interesting. I'll check that one out.
There's a
that
lot.
Sounds like something I might like.
Yeah, so they're easily digestible. That's what's good.
Yeah,
so
and you can make waffles with these, because that's the first thing I made with my spelt flour.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, that's what we think of first, right? The pancakes. Yeah. That's true. So so just try and have varied flour, and take something that has a bit of fiber, because what happens in most of the food we consume, in the grains that we consume, is, especially in rice, that first layer of fiber is stripped out. So the fiber is what gives you that sense of fullness. So, and if that's stripped out, then you're
gonna just keep eating and eating.
You keep eating more. Exactly. You get fuller than you should be. So have something that has fiber in it, so you can you can consume it, but you'll know when to stop because you'll get full after a small quantity. So yeah, flour is good. Just have, try and go for the more, spelt flour, other flours that are easily digestible, I would say.
So you can transition, if you're decluttering at home, you can transition your flour for a healthier flour with fiber.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Of course.
Favorites of a lot of people. So I transitioned this out of my house a long time ago.
Okay.
But milk, 2% milk. Tell us what you think.
Yes. Again, there's nothing wrong per se with milk. It's anything consumed with moderation. For instance, in Ayurveda, well, in Indian culture generally, we do a lot of rituals with milk. So if you consume it, and for, not just for rituals, but just to consume it a little bit, it's okay. But it should not be part, I don't believe it should be part of your diet. And,
okay.
I would not go with milk. It causes a lot of congestion in the chest. It's, there's so many other alternatives that you can take in order to get the same nutrients that you're trying to get from milk, and without the negative effects of creating all that
transition
congestion.
this out too.
Yes.
Let's talk about the alternatives. I got 2 alternatives here. Organic coconut milk.
Yes.
And silk almond milk. So there has been a trend going around lately that plant-based milks are not as healthy as we thought they were. And I think it's because we've added a lot of things that don't need to be added to the plant-based milk.
Yeah.
So checking your ingredient list, I just want to say that is very good, guys. This is not my favorite, that's my second favorite brand. But there's one that's really just the plant and water. And then you can add, agave syrup or whatever is the sweetener you're using. But yes, tell us alternatives, sorry.
Yeah, so those are great alternatives. And like you said, just be aware of the ingredients that they put into the almond milk, into the coconut milk, and like that. And usually it's what they add to it, but also you might not have, let's say, like a complete protein. You might have to add some dates to it or something, it's just something like that. You'll feel full. You'll be like, yeah, okay, now, or some pumpkin seeds. That's really good.
Okay.
And it becomes...
Dates, I know pumpkin seeds, but I like pumpkin seeds, so why not?
Yes, so you can soak them and then you can just, and you can make your own. It's so easy to make too, your own almond milk. Coconut milk, super good as well. Coconut water too, electrolytes.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I like coconut milk. I realized that the coconut milk has a lot less ingredients than the plant-based milks.
Yes, absolutely.
Sorry, nut-based milks.
The milks. Yeah, exactly. And so that's why I prefer doing it when it comes to the nut milk. It's always better to do it yourself. You'll save money and you know what's going in it.
Oh, you save money.
Look,
we saved cha-ching, we saved you guys some money.
Yes, absolutely.
No side effects and you save money.
That's right. So that's what I would say. Like for the nut milk, just add what you have to add to it. Dates, just something to make it like a complete protein, and you're good. Yeah.
There we go. Love it. Thank you. Let's add. So it took me. I've been looking for protein shakes. When you're working out, protein shakes, or just to add some nutrients in your body, has always been portrayed as helpful and good. But what I also realized is that there's a lot of ingredients in these protein shakes. So I've been on and off about them. Every time I buy one, I never finish it.
Yeah.
And so I recently bought this one, but there's a lot of ingredients in it as well. So I've been taking it in portions, like just adding it a little bit to my smoothies. But what do you think? So this one is Nature Zen. It's plant-based, and it says it has amino acids, but I don't know if you want to take a look at the ingredients, or what do you think?
So generally speaking, some of them are good in terms of ingredients. So there's no problem there. It's just about seeing if you actually need it, because we've been taught that we need protein so much, like so much, and we do need it. But we actually consume a lot of protein more than we need, actually.
Oh, do we?
Yes, generally
Okay.
speaking.
I thought that was carbs.
Yeah, I know that too. Yeah, that too. Because we're taught that when we for our muscles, for muscle development and all that, to keep our tissues strong, everything, we need protein. It is, although it is true when we're growing up, that we need all these nutrients and protein and all these things. When we get to an adult age, our body is so magical. Like it is magic. Honestly, we have something called the growth hormone, so we're able to maintain ourselves with not that much food if we take away stress and stuff.
Yeah, I've heard of that actually. I've recently heard an expert saying that the better we eat, or because you'll eat less, the better you eat, but also the less you'll sleep. Like you'll need less sleep because you have all that energy in
also
you.
True, yeah, because the more you give your body what it needs, the more it's just it's self-sufficient. It heals itself. It has everything. Plants just nourish themselves from sun
and a lot of
and
gurus
water.
eat once a day.
Yeah, some of them live in the forest, and we call them brahmacharis in Indian culture, and they practically don't eat anything. Like they eat berries and stuff, and they're good. And I'm like, wait.
And they have healthy weight too. You're like,
yes. Us
what is
always
going
skinny,
on? Right? I'm like, how?
That's it.
You eat less than me.
No, that's true. So the protein, it'll help, but it depends what you're trying to achieve, and it's not. I don't believe it's essential. We need minerals more than we need protein.
That's true. Yeah, that is true.
Because if your nervous system is nourished, it's almost like it gives off the signal where, you
We're
can
good.
Yeah, you have a whole tree that grows from a seed. So don't you think our bodies is
That's true.
if we trust it a bit more, we give it some sunlight, we reduce the stress and stuff, we won't need as much, as we think we do. But of course, if you're hungry, you have to eat. You have to eat something.
Don't starve yourself, guys.
No, don't starve yourself.
Just feed yourself good food.
That's it, and try and go with natural protein, like chickpeas and
Chickpeas are good.
Yeah, things like that. And the powdered form, it's okay. I just don't know how essential it is.
The raw form is way more vibrationally, it's higher.
Exactly.
It's just I wanted to bring it up because I know it's a vibe now. It's a thing.
Yes, it's a thing. It's a thing. But CMOS, that is a good thing to take after a workout.
Oh yeah.
After workout, post workout.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Okay.
and I'm like, it's
CMOS guys, post workout.
Yeah.
You heard it here. Let's end with our favorite dairy products, right? Worldwide. Yeah. Cheese.
Cheese.
I won't lie, I tried vegan cheese.
Yeah.
And honestly, it was more, the texture is accurate, so it's that's pretty much it. I don't think it's just the texture, it's not, I won't say it's amazing or it's bad, it's just, it adds that, it gives you that cheese experience. Yeah,
the texture that you're looking for.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I think it goes along. It's kind of with milk, kind of like milk. It's not something essential to have. If anything, it clogs the arteries. Because I'm trying to find something good to say about it.
So do you like the taste of clogged arteries is what she's asking you.
But I understand that people go for it, not necessarily for the nutritional value, but because of how
it's cheesy thingy,
Yes, so if you find an alternative, go for it as far as texture goes. Because nutritionally speaking, there's so many other things you could be, consuming. They do what? Cheese from cashew or something?
Yeah, there's the one I tasted was from coconut.
Oh.
Yeah, I thought that was really interesting.
I never had that. Okay.
No? Yeah. I'll send you a picture.
Okay. Yes. So yeah, I would say I understand the craving cheese thing, but again, think about those pathogens that we talked about.
Who are you feeding?
Yeah, exactly.
Is it your heart?
It makes my heart happy.
Right?
Yeah.
Thank you for that. We
Of course.
appreciate your opinion on all of those products that are in probably a lot of household
Yeah.
homes right nowadays.
Very common.
So I think, yeah, it's very common. So I thought it was important to tackle that a little bit.
Of
Thank
course. Yes.
So yes, that was our episode on bursting with energy. Is there anything else that you want to tell the audience that you want to end with? And you could say anything that you want.
Anything that I want.
Anything.
No, I guess just the only thought I would leave people with is well, something that I mentioned is about decluttering. It's taking, before thinking of what you can put in, think about what you can take out. Create space, because without space, there's no transformation.
You're just cluttering clutter.
Yeah, that's it. So create space first, and usually 50% of the time that resolves your issue.
Okay.
Decluttering. So.
And if you need help decluttering, contact us.
Yes, exactly. We're here for you. So,
exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you. That was amazing. I really appreciated everything we talked about. I hope our
Yeah.
audience appreciated it as well.
Hope
If
so.
you guys do want to win an oil, then the question, how many functions does the or a liver?
Yes, does the liver have?
Yes, how many functions does the liver have? And then I'll post it on my Instagram this week, guys, and if you answer, you have the chance of winning. So that's it for today. Have a happy Sunday. And bye, guys. The next episode should be in 2 weeks, and we're going to keep it on immune system. So we're going back to 2, and we're going to have the same theme for the month. It'll be the theme of the month.
Super.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Indigen Productions. How was that?